The Texas Longhorns are the hands-down favorite to win the Big 12 football championship. Let's talk about it. Yeah, the Longhorns are the preseason favorite to win the Big 12 championship for the first time of this combined Big 12 era. Right around 2010, 2011, the Big 12 eliminated the divisions, and that's when A&M left, Missouri, Nebraska, Colorado. And this is the first time UT's been picked to win it all since everybody played the round robin, so to speak, everybody in the Big 12. Hey, quick shout out to Honest AC and Plumbing, where a handshake still means something, and Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency, the OG, the number one supporter since day one. He's been insuring Austin for decades, a former Longhorn and a Longhorn legacy as well. His dad was a Heisman finalist, the late, great James Saxton. So the Longhorns picked to win the Big 12 in the media preseason poll. And, I partook and participated in a lot of those in my media years, and it's a lot of fun. Texas right there picked to play Kansas State in the Big 12 championship at Jerry World in December. Of course, K-State was there last year, ended up playing in the Sugar Bowl. Great run. Deuce Vaughn's no longer there. But the Longhorns, I firmly believe they have it all. Will they win it? I don't know. I can't honestly say, but I will say they will at least play for the Big 12 championship. I think Sark has recruited well. They developed well. They developed from the inside out, meaning the offensive and defensive lines. Offensive line may be the best in the country. There's a good chance of that. Defensive line, Tavondre Sweat, Byron Murphy. There's so much depth being developed on the D-line, which is key. And then you look at, let's go, Xavier Worthy. I mean, he could perhaps be a Heisman candidate this year. I know it's rare for a receiver to win the Heisman, but it's been done. The thing is, he was injured last year, and he played the majority of his year with a pretty bad injury in his hand, wrist area. Then there's Quinn Ewers, who was knocked out of the Alabama game after a quick start, came back middle of the year, and you saw his struggles. I mean, Quinn, you've seen the lights, the flashes of greatness. His arm is off the charts strong, NFL caliber arm. And don't let it fool you. He is mobile. Every coach that I've spoken to, whether at high school or other college football coaches, saying Quinn is the real deal. He is legit the real deal. Now it's time for him to take the next step. But he's going to need the defense to be good. Jahdae Barron, I think he is probably the most underrated defensive back in the country. Preseason Big 12 honors showed him no respect. But I really believe that he is one of the best defensive backs in the country. Texas has a lot of options, a lot of new receivers, a lot of new receivers and players who were proven elsewhere. But it all circles back to the quarterback. Steve Sarkisian was on the Always College Football podcast, and he was asked about the reasons why he thinks Quinn is about to take a huge leap in his development and progress.
Two things. One, Quinn is really coachable, and he's always been very coachable. Two, Quinn's ultra competitive, like every great quarterback, and he wants to be the best player he can be. In my mind, he was a freshman last year, basically. Like, I graduated high school early. Inevitably, there was a big learning curve for him. Just about the game, the speed of the game, his understanding of what we're trying to do and why we're doing what we're doing has allowed him to play more urgent. And I do agree with you. I do think that the details, right, and the minutiae of the position is something that he sees value in now, and he's really putting in the time to make it all come together.
Don't you love hearing Sark when he dissects an offense and the terminology and talks about it? The guy is an offensive genius. There's no doubt about that. And it's just very surgical, speaks with intention because he's designing that offense. He's the one that is behind all of the plays. And He's a mastermind when it comes to offenses, especially the modern day offenses, and he has a good track record. But year 3 for Sark, year 2 for Quinn as the quarterback. Xavier Worthy, he stays healthy and Quinn stays relatively healthy. I think Texas will more than likely win the Big 12 championship. And, this is just the beginning of the hype machine. But next week is when a lot of hype and a lot of content will be produced by everybody who covers the Big 12, and including here on Stories Inside the Man Cave. The 13th, 8 p.m. That's the target time when we'll drop our episodes on the Big 12 football media days. We're going to have a lot of moving parts. Mark Rogers, longtime media member in Oklahoma City, knows the Big 12, OU, OSU, and he knows them inside and out. And he's going to help me produce some content from Big 12 media days. We'll have the Stories Inside the Man Cave family join us. And we're going to produce some quality content, if you will. And be sure to follow our YouTube page, Stories Inside the Man Cave Podcast, and Facebook page. That's when all those episodes will drop on July 12th and 13th. Be sure to follow us on all social media. I want to hear from you. What's your take on Texas being named the Big 12 favorites to win the championship this year in football and the rest of the Big 12? My advice: don't sleep on Texas Tech, and don't rule out Kansas and Jalen Johnson, the quarterback there, and Oklahoma. Will they jump back to where they used to be for so long? Because they and Texas, it's important this year to have a lot of momentum as they head into the SEC. We are.